Corruption remains one of the greatest barricades to the resuscitation of an economic thriving Zimbabwe and hinders the prospects of the attainment of our Vision 2030. So if we don't fight corruption, we may not be able to see a successful Vision 2030 coming into fruition. As a result of these illicit flows, governments are left with little or no financial resources to channel towards development and the provision of basic services such as health and education. What hurts the most is the fact that the ordinary citizenry is the most affected as a result of corruption. It is estimated, as has already been said, that Zimbabwe, we are losing 1.8 billion United States dollars annually due to corruption. That is a huge sum of money, and you can imagine what 1.8 billion dollars could do. Such illicit financial flows are unacceptable and bleed the economy of revenue meant to promote sustainable economic development and the betterment of the livelihoods of all Zimbabweans. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, that we totally eradicate corruption in Zimbabwe and recover stolen assets.
All right, so one of the things that I've been literally studying is actually how Emmerson Mnangagwa runs his politics, or runs his kind of abusive leadership. I know that people want to call it leadership, but for me, I'm just like, there's no leadership around Emmerson Mnangagwa. He has mastered the art of playing with the mind of Zimbabweans. Look at the way that he's dancing. Uncalled for. But anyway, that's who Emmerson Mnangagwa is. So there are calls out there where they're saying no CHIWENGA for president. I want us to discuss that. Okay, we'll talk about that story a little bit later on. But now we just want to camp a bit around Emmerson Mnangagwa. Disrespectful. He doesn't care about how you guys feel. But again, he's being propelled by Zimbabweans. Those who support him, they're jumping up and down as Zimbabweans. I am a firm believer that once a society is broken, you would think it's politics the problem. No, the society is the problem. That's why whenever people are saying, no, we can change a leader, we can have Chamisa today. With this society, it will not work. We can have whoever that you think can be the perfect leader. I genuinely believe our problems are more societal, which needs to be sorted out now, so that we will never have a person like Emmerson Mnangagwa again. We will never, Mugabe was bad, but not to this extent. This man is got yeah, it's being done by just wicked people who don't have hearts. I genuinely believe that he doesn't have a heart that in him as a person. That's why sometimes I don't understand even his wife as well. Do you guys even have hearts? Do you even know the kind of trauma and the pain that is within our people? But anyway, so like I mentioned to you earlier on, calls are mounting that CHIWENGA has to be the president. All right. CHIWENGA has to be the president. Let me read. Mushajirega Guru. And what I appreciate about General CHIWENGA is his unquestionable loyalty to Zimbabwe. He pledged to protect the country with his blood during and after the liberation struggle, and he's never betrayed the oath. General for president. But you also remember that CHIWENGA is out here when he spoke about the issue of corruption. Again, a selling point, really selling point. And also recently had a speech where he mentioned that we do not fight to liberate one village, province, but the whole Zimbabwe. Vice President retired General CHIWENGA, he's the one who spoke those words. And I want you to listen to him.
No one is going to come and defend our country except ourselves. A loud and clear no to corruption by whomsoever.
Interesting. Guys, there have been a lot of questions, that I've seen on social media. People saying, why now? CHIWENGA has been quiet for a long time. Why only now? And I genuinely believe it's the wrong question to ask. Okay. The question that we need to be asking about is what is it that he has to bring to the table? A question that we need to hammer on is, what are you going to bring to the table, sir? Because we are not prepared to experience what we experienced with Mugabe, with Mnangagwa. We do not want such kind of leaders in our country. As a Zimbabwean person, remember, I'm not a politician. Some people actually think that I am. Guys, I must also make it very clear that I am not Geza's spokesperson. I'm simply a Zimbabwean who have seen that he represents what I represent. And I put my weight on him to give him support. And I will until we cross. Because I know what he stands for, and I also know what he's saying, and I agree with him. Okay, so please, I am not his spokesperson. He has been very clear that when he communicates it, I drop the message on his channel, and then he will speak for himself. So I just wanted to put that word out there. But very important for us to actually be able to discuss CHIWENGA. Very important. Chamisa to any politician, because honestly, one of these guys going to be a president post Mnangagwa era. So we can't afford to sit back and watch and just say, no, whatever happens, like what happened in 2017, we can't afford on that.
Ndini ndakaenda kuhondo ndakazopfura pakati ndikazoridza kuti yakadai tikamupa izvo zvikuti pfura ndipfuri anozvipfura iye chokwadi anozvipfura pfura nafu asi wambokivhaira kuti ndini isusu.
Voila, for those that just joined me for the first time, please subscribe to the channel and make sure that you ring the bell so that every time I'm live, you will be robbed right here, because we have a lot of engagements normally during live streams. Okay. And also to my regular, don't forget to thumbs up the video, because that helps us a lot. We need to make sure that at least Zimbabweans engage on things that matter. So please share with others the videos, drop them in your groups, cut clips so everyone can be part of the conversation. I know some people can be struggling with data. Okay, so as we are moving on, honestly, I don't really care who's going to be the president post Mnangagwa era. I'm going to be very clear with you, because I've actually studied the political system in Zimbabwe, and it's quite very challenging. The bootlicking, the partisan politics. There is a disconnect between the love of the country and then the love of a person who is seeking political office. I hope you get that part. Because, guys, I am a respecter of leaders. If I have to work under someone's leadership, I honor that office, but I don't think I'm going to be the servant to someone's quest for his own political ambitions, or I'm going to be a servant to the people that have nominated me. Remember, a president doesn't choose people for himself. He chooses people to serve the country. So I'm very much concerned about the characteristics of a person who will take political office in Zimbabwe post Mnangagwa era. Would the person give us a platform to have freedom of speech? Can they give us a platform to thrive? Can they give us a platform to build our country freely? Can our institutions be current? Can we have efficient service? Can we have competent individuals in all platforms who are genuinely serving? Can we do away with the culture of just taking or stealing? Because honestly, for me, that culture is diabolical. Because even the Bible says we don't eat, right? Which means if a person is just taking, he's definitely working for the devil. And that's exactly what we have currently with Emmerson Mnangagwa. People are just taking. They can't wait to see $1, they take the dollar. They can't wait to see where there's something, they take. Everywhere it's stealing. Can we have a leader who put a stop to stealing? I think these are the conversation we need to have. Not who is going to be. Like I said, guys, people change. But do the person have the character or the stamina to be bold and confront nonsense? That's leadership. I'm not one, but I can only imagine if I would be the president of Zimbabwe. All that I'm seeing today, I'll put a stop to it. I will put a stop to it. You commit a crime, you go straight to prison. I'll lock you in. We need to deal with corruption heavily. You take $25, you go to prison. 10 years locked up. You take $100,000, you go to prison for life. You try millions, you get executed. Because you are killing people in the process, right? You're a killer. And you expect it to leave. Look, how many people are dying today because of the Mnangagwa's regime? That is stealing every little cent. So you need to understand the consequences of any government actor. That's why it's important to have a leader who is adamant, professional, who has integrity, hardworking, a man who is respectful of humankind, who is a human. I stand by my words. I don't think Emmerson Mnangagwa is human. I don't think he's human. I actually don't think he's human. You see, human nature is that you may do wrong, but sometimes your conscience wakes you up and said, no, man, this isn't it. But the man don't think like he cares. He doesn't care. You saw him. He does not care. To me, I don't think we are dealing with a human. Honestly, even those that are in the spiritual world knows well, we are dealing with some form of something. He is not human. He's not. But all I'm saying is, Zimbabweans, let us be smart, sober and vigilant. Be wise when dealing with nonsense. Okay? So for those that are saying CHIWENGA, some are saying Chamisa, some are saying whosoever, some are also saying transitional, but transitional authorities still need to have a leader. Some are saying the military. Guys, if the military will get in there and do the right thing, I applaud. I can see what other militaries are doing in the country. Guys, we are tired of abuse. We are losing. And I've heard some people say, no, but when you do this, you guys can be isolated. That's a lie. Look what is going on with Ibrahim Traore. Guys, when you stand for good, there is divine backup. God controls the mind of human beings, for your own information. People will just love you. As long as in Zimbabwe, this is why Geza is being loved by the people right now. They're trying to watch down his efforts, but it doesn't work. And honestly, for me, I would just say to Geza, just know that whatever you're doing is coming from a good place. Anyone who stands coming from a good place, God can give them protection. And I believe Geza is genuine. He's very genuine, and we need to give him support as Zimbabweans, because Emmerson Mnangagwa has to step down. All these criminals needs to be arrested. So can I say CHIWENGA is the one? Can I say Chamisa is the one? Honestly, it's not for me to decide. It's for the Zimbabwean people to decide. And I also think that the elders know what they're doing. And I believe in the power of leadership and the power of conversations. I'm sure we're going to get to where we are. So it's not who is going to be a leader. It's what kind of leadership are they going to provide? That's what we need to know. Because I'm terrified. Honestly, one thing that terrifies me is the amount of bootlickers we have in the country and the amount of entitlement that we have when people are close to someone who is a leader. There's this culture that we have that we need to destroy. Entitlement spirit. It's a poverty mentality spirit. You see, it doesn't matter that my relative is a leader in some place. I'm not feeling entitled. For those who don't know, I come from a chieftain's family, but I'm not entitled to any of anything. I genuinely believe that this country has to work for everybody. It has to work for everyone. It can't be a country where I'm the only one who eats and everyone is starving. It can't be a country where I'm the only one who's being seen smiling when everyone is living in misery. I can't afford. I want to see a Zimbabwe where everyone is smiling. I need to see top class government officials. I want to see companies that are clean, pristine. I want to see proper malls. But what we are seeing is my buildings, so don't say it's a mall. And some of the words that you guys abuse more. Do you know what a mall looks like? I want to see proper malls. I want to see robots in rural areas, running water, electricity, proper malls in the rural areas, industries across the country, children going to school with free buses, trains, bullet trains across the country. I want to see roads, minimum 4-way streets, class to top class roads. So I'm not interested in who is going to be what. Do you have the capacity to deliver the Zimbabwe that we want? Because honestly, we cannot carry on this trajectory. So do I care who's going to be a leader? No, I don't. I actually care about the characteristics and the quality of the leadership they're going to provide. So just hang out around the issue of CHIWENGA that people are propelling, which, like I said, it's up to the Zimbabwean people to decide. I'm not the one who's can tell you who's supposed to be your leader or not. I'm very much focusing on the kind of society we deserve, you know, and the kind of the quality of leadership we deserve. Top class is who we are. So we're looking at CHIWENGA. Let's look at the wife, you know, Miniotam. I've seen her really just trying to, she's doing quite a number of things. She's a very centered woman from what I am seeing. I wouldn't know what's in her heart, but I'm seeing a very centered woman. Because one of the things that we have lacked in the country is a real, genuine first lady. We look at the first genuine first lady that I think we had was Sally Mugabe. Okay, guys, Sally did it well. Take a listen to Sally.
And all she saw was one of her friends lying down with no leg. Then she looked round and found her friend bleeding, but did not notice the friend did not have a leg. Then later on she looked the other direction and saw the leg by itself. So her friend started shouting, please carry me and take my leg too, the friend said. That was terrible. Then she carried the friend on her back and then started looking for the leg, carried the leg on the other hand. So the friend told her, I think we should throw away the leg because it's already useless. Then this friend started crying, you can't do that, please carry my leg too, I want my leg. It took a lot of persuasion for her to know that the leg was no use. We must bury it. Then later on they decided to bury it. Instances like that. Who will forget? Forgive you can. Yes, we are all trying to forgive, you know, but to forget is difficult.
All right. Why I wanted you guys to listen to Sally Mugabe's speech is because there is a problem in our country currently where people that are within the space of influence lack hearts. They lack common sense. They don't have empathy and sympathy. Look, with Grace Mugabe, she was obsessed with that position, beyond obsessed. You know, with all due respect, I'll tell you any offense, obsession with a title is diabolical. You should be obsessed in seeing people succeeding, happy, peaceful, loving, joyful. That's leadership. Guys, I don't know if I would be happy to see my family miserable. I want to see my family happy, excited. Every time when I receive a phone call, it's good news. I want to see them succeeding. That's what brings joy in my spirit. Those are the qualities of a leader. So, honestly, Sally Mugabe was, but Grace disappointed me. You could have let Mugabe rest earlier. As a wife, baby, listen, just work with your successor. Because you have got the power to put a stop to nonsense and say, listen, I'm busy now working with my successor. I need to groom a successor and I need to leave this person in the right place. And do it amicably, peacefully, with respect. But do the guy died just, you know, fighting for a position? It's shameful. Move on now with Emmerson Mnangagwa. Auxilia is worse. She's worse. When I say she's worse, because remember, she saw where we come from. She knew our hearts were fragile, that we are heartbroken. But what did she do? She's finishing our hearts. Very selfish. Deceptive to the core. And I mean it what I'm saying here. I stand by my words. Because if I fail to tell you the truth, guys, I'll be held accountable when I get to heaven. God wants me to be answerable. I send you to do the right thing. Here you are, you can't speak truth into power. I stand by my words. We need women who are respectful. Look at Sally. She understood the pain of a person who can forget such a traumatic experience. But no, these ones, including Gracie, she just think about things. Everyone else don't matter. She forgets the trauma we carried from Mugabe. The trauma moved with the Auxilia. Guys, our hearts are broken. Society is bleeding. Our people are bleeding, walking with pain because of the abuse. It can't be politics all the time. Sometimes we need to be human. You know, but honestly, so Miniotam or be it Chabisa's wife, whoever is going to be the first lady, I don't know who it is. I don't know if it's going to be the military. And guys, we don't want first ladies who always want to act like you're a president. A first lady is not a president. A first lady helps the president from the house to do whatever he does. But in Zimbabwe, they always want to act like they're not the president. There's this entitlement spirit and stupidity at the same time. We don't want that. I genuinely don't. So I'm just saying, wherever you are, please know that our hearts are fragile. We are broken and we mean business. We'll come after you. This time we're no longer going to be nice. If you want our respect, you respect us first. That's how it works in leadership. Because most of you just think by becoming a president's wife, now you can bully everyone. Guys, I've been in South Africa. Do you know that the wife of Ramaphosa, she's very much educated. She's a doctor. Top class, come from a very rich family. But humble. There's something wrong in Zimbabwe. We've got Zungu, too much Zungu. Too much Zungu. Zungu racho muri wanza. Munema karo, you are greedy. It's my children. Hold on. There's something with grace. Now it's auxiliary. We are tired. We need people who are there to serve. To save our people. You will see, you never see Ramaphosa's wife. No, you won't see her. She's in a place. One day I remember Ramaphosa calling and said, baby, okay, please can you make sure my suit is in its place? She's asking which suit, and he's talking on the phone and they were recording him. He's saying, you're at home making sure that your husband dressed beautiful, he eats healthy, he exercises. I repeat, he exercises. Because when a man exercises, it helps us to work with a sane person. Detoxing toxicity. A man should not be so entrenched in this bootlicking nonsense. We are tired of it. But that's the job of a wife. When my husband has to be intact. He eats healthy, he dresses properly, he wakes up on time, he has good sleep. But we're sleeping at a dinner table. It's shameful. Because you know what? You are busy focusing on the wrong things. Stealing, looting public funds. So anybody who comes post-Mnangagwa era need to understand that our hearts are extremely broken. We were fragile then. Now I'm sorry. We have no mercy. With the Zimbabwean people, we can work with you to make sure you succeed. We can serve to make sure we succeed. But one thing we are not going to tolerate is abuse. It's people who steal, people who intimidate, intimidation, threatening us in our own country, and yet you're an employee. No, it doesn't cut. Sorry, it doesn't cut. So that culture is what I need to see gone. Gone. You respect us? No, we honor you. I lost my respect for Emerson because of his abuse and the arrogance, pride, disrespect. All Emerson is, he's proudful. You saw him. The people that is doing that are bleeding with pain and poverty. He doesn't care. The country is in turmoil. Filthiness, he doesn't care. He's never been in any hospital to say, he has never been there to check in. Well, they're complaining about what's going on. He's never been checked. Guys, why would he doesn't care? But trust me, when it comes to taking money from the country, you see him at work. Look at that picture. At work with his children. Look at that picture. He is very much at work. So don't tell me that he doesn't know what he's doing. You know exactly what he is doing. That's why I'm saying anyone who comes after Mnangagwa, we mean business. So we're sending the message right now very clearly and say we would love you to see you succeeding. We'll do everything in our power as Zimbabwean people to work with you. So your weakness will be your strength. When you're weak, we'll come in and hold your hands and make sure that you are strong. Because that's why we're here. But if you abuse us, you won't like what's coming. I'm sorry you will never like it. It is what it is. We love our country so much. We are extremely patriotic to want to see you fail. No, we don't want to see you fail. We would want to see you succeeding. But work with us. There's no need for hatred. We need a platform of love, joy, peace, celebrations. Let's revitalize our culture. Guys, we've lost our identity. Can we have an identity, please? Whenever I see other countries wearing African attires and be dancing in their traditions, it bleeds my heart. We want to wear them. Look at the Tswana people. They're still wearing those stuff. We want our identity. We lost everything. Someone who's able to bring that back. We need it. I don't mind, I'm still single, but I wouldn't mind to wear Nembezeza when I get married. We're seeing it happen in other countries. We allowed the enemy to divide us, and this time we will not. And I'm asking you, brothers and sisters, let's work together to build a country. So we should never be obsessed with who becomes the president. Let us be obsessed with what is it that they're going to bring to the table. Are they willing to have conversations? Because Mnangagwa don't want. He can't even hold hands with Chamisa. He can't even greet Chamisa. But all countries, you can see them. Mozambique, there was a bit of turmoil that happened there, but you saw them holding hands for the betterment of the country. No, for him, it's all about him. He doesn't care. Everyone else is bad except that whoever's bootlicking him. We cannot carry on like that. Emerson Mnangagwa needs to step down. for the goodness of the country and generations to come. I've always been saying keeping Mnangagwa in the office is a betrayal to generations and a betrayal to our forefathers who died for absolutely nothing, because the man has no respect for the liberation struggle. He pretend, but he doesn't have. If he heard, he wouldn't let Zimbabweans bleed the way that they do. That's all I have for you right now. So what do I think about CHIWENGA? Like I said, honestly, what I would say to CHIWENGA is, if you want things to work for you, should you happen to be the president, work with the people. And you'll be the most respected man. Trust me, you'll be written in the books of history. Anyone who comes after Mnangagwa is a hero. You know why? Guys, because Mnangagwa failed after Mugabe. He could have becoming the most respected man, notwithstanding his past. You know why? Because he stood for what was right. People can forgive. But the problem here is that Zimbabweans will become worse when they get positions. So honestly, anyone who comes after Mnangagwa, listen, brother, ma'am, whoever you're going to be, I want to say to you, you will be a hero. And you'll be written books of history for turning Zimbabweans around. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section. Do you think CHIWENGA is going to be the good one? Do you think Chamisa, who do you think is going to be a good one? Guys, remember, they read your comments. So very importantly, so post your comments so that they can at least be able to understand what you guys think. Okay, I'll see you guys later on when we're having our live in the evening. But for now, enjoy and bye for now. Subscribe to the channel. Don't forget, y'all. I love you. Bye.